Hey everybody, welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to be talking about the tools you have in your toolbox. Now this can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. To me, this means either the skills and talents that I have that apply to my sport, or even different things that I've learned and kept with me that I'll apply later on in my life. So as you can see, the life of a student athlete is obviously, as you know, very multifaceted, and we have a lot of things that we have to consider and keep tabs on. We have our athletic lives, our academic lives, and even our social life that we have to balance. So remember that you got this, right? There's only so many hours in a day, and there's only so many things you can do, so don't overstress yourself. But it's important to be cognizant of what you spend those hours doing. So who are you? Now, I ask this because there's a lot more to us than our program name, our year of study, and our sport. This seems to be an introduction that a lot of us give to whenever we meet people. Hi, I'm in third year sociology, I'm on the women's rugby team. But there's a lot more to us than just that little title that we're giving to ourselves. So a lot of you have undeniable skills and talents, and I'm sure that translates onto the field and into the classroom. So think about this question for a second and think about not only who you are right now, but who you want to be in the future. And think of what you need to do to get there. Now, as you can see, some of the pictures I have up here on the screen show people having fun with friends, maybe looking at some posts, or even networking and meeting people who are in the same line of profession or who aspire to be in that profession. And on the top left, as you can see, obviously, as you all know, the puzzle pieces making up this person's face is essentially all the experiences and opportunities that we all go through and how they shape us to make us who we are. And the person on the top right, as you can see, has showing a lot of different faces. So this is very similar to us, because I've noticed that a lot of us, or even myself, I have kind of, I speak different, I dress different for different occasions. For example, when I'm in the classroom versus when I'm on the field. Who I am on the field differs from who I am in a more personal setting, or even in a more professional setting. So how do we go beyond that? So standing out, I think, is very important. But this is also something that probably comes with a lot of anxiety and worriness for a lot of us in high school. Probably the last thing you wanted to do in high school is stick out like a sore thumb, right? You just wanted to blend in with the crowd, and it's always easier when you're all just walking the same direction. So how can you stand out? I think it's pretty much easy nowadays, because there's a lot more skills we can learn, a lot more people and connections we can network with, bettering our resume, whether that's getting experience that maybe is not available to everyone, taking advantage of those experiences, and also the different opportunities that we're presented with. So all this shapes who you are and betters you as a person, and this helps you stand out. Something else I think is really important is constant work. If you have a goal in mind, don't be too easily deterred away from it. Now, I put this quote on because it's one of my favorite quotes, and it reads, "You never lose when you invest in yourself." And I think this is especially true always, but especially in COVID times, because, for example, earlier this summer, I decided to invest in a home gym because I know how important training is to me. I know the mindset it puts me in, and I just thought it would be important to have that readily available to me. And no matter what monetary, no matter how much you have to pour into it, it always gives you a higher return on investments. I mean, personally and mentally and that sort of thing. And now this can come with a lot of different things. It doesn't have to necessarily apply to athletics. It can be in your life, constant work towards your goal, towards your career. Like I said, standing out, getting those opportunities, anything to better yourself, give you a better chance. Because as you know, we have a very competitive world. And how do you compete in this world now? So it's always important to strive for excellence and always be better when you can. It's also important to recognize that you shouldn't be doing this at the expense of your own self. So it's important to know that you can always expand your horizon. This picture on the left is one that I really like, because it shows that even though when you think you've come to a dead stop or a wall, there's always something past that. Maybe you can't pick it up like this man is, but you can necessarily turn around and change it. So it's important to know that there's always something beyond what you think it is. And in saying that, it's also important to recognize that a lot of us are very devoted to our sports, and that's not a bad thing. But it's also important to be cognizant of what's to come, because unfortunately, for women in sports, anyways, there's only so many platforms you can, or not platforms. There's only so many levels you can get to. So you can play at a national level, you can play at an international level, but still, right? I mean, there's a lot of debates around still needing to pay to play and not being able to live a life based on the sport. For example, I know a lot of people who've played at the national or international level are still needing to have jobs on the side to help get them through life. But if you have a goal, it's important to stick to it and just keep growing yourself and being a better person to achieve it. And ways to do this is through internships, working in your field, volunteering opportunities, co-ops. So in my first year, I decided to reach out to several lawyers so that I can get some work experience just voluntary experience before studying for my LSATs and just having time to kind of enjoy the field for what it is and kind of to remind me why I chose law in the first place. And I wasn't very lucky. I actually got 0 responses, but that didn't deter me. You know, I tried again my second year, and last summer, with the help of my dad and some connections, I was able to find a lawyer who was willing to take me on and just take me on under her wing and teach me what she knows. And it was mutually beneficial, because I was learning a lot that I wouldn't have in another scenario, but she was also getting the advantages of an unpaid laborer, right? Because I'm just there helping. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for coming today, and enjoy the rest of your day.